Hey guys, it's Luke Stanaway from LAS Fitness, coming at you with another video on all things nutrition, health, and fitness related. Today I've been asked to do a video on artificial sweeteners and the truths and fictions behind them. I'll go over the most 4 common artificial sweeteners in depth and say the benefits and the potential health risks and problems behind them. These artificial sweeteners are aspartame being the worst and most dangerous, acyl sulfame potassium, number 2, sucralose, number 3, and then stevia, which is actually classed as a natural sweetener, but I'll get onto that later. First, we'll start with the aspartame. Aspartame is 180 times sweeter than sugar, and has the same calorie rate of sugar. However, because it's so much sweeter than sugar, you only need a very small amount to have the same effects as sugar. This means that you can get near 0 calories with a large sweetness, and so is very popular with people who are trying to lose weight. However, what they don't know is the great negative effects that aspartame has been proven to have on you. Aspartame has a total of 92 different negative side effects on the body that are proven in clinical studies. This ranges from headaches to memory loss to abdominal pain, vision problems, brain tumors, and weight gain. Also, because aspartame is made from phenylalanine and aspartic acid, it is also even more dangerous due to both of these chemicals directly impact the brain and the central nervous system functions, which leads to your memory loss problems and mood disorder, and also affects areas such as Alzheimer's, increases the chance of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, and so on. Now, it also has negative effects on the kidney and livers, which is what is used for fat metabolism, and so affects your possibility of weight loss. Therefore I'd recommend not, or trying to definitely avoid aspartame. Number 2, acyl sulfame K, or acyl sulfame potassium. This is the second most dangerous one, potentially due to the fact that it has very few studies done on it, meaning that its side effects are truly not known. However, some that are known from it are problems with eyesight, again impairment of the kidneys and liver, possible cancers, and headaches and mood problems again. Now, acyl sulfame K is used in many products, such as protein powders, your soft drinks. By the way, aspartame is used mainly in soft drinks at the moment, and artificial table sugar sweeteners. Aspartame has been taken out of a lot of things due to its dangerous effects. However, the FDA still says that it's safe for use in foods, meaning that it's actually the most dangerous food chemical used on today's market. But anyway, back to acyl sulfame K. Acyl sulfame K, has undergone the least amount of studies, and therefore is the most unknown of all the artificial sweeteners, and so there is many problems behind it, as we don't truly know the extent of damage that it's causing to our body. Then we have sucralose. Sucralose is sugar which has been chemically altered by adding 3-chlorine atoms for 3 hydroxygen atoms. Hydrogen and oxygen, which is kind of like water. Anyway, this is a negative start to begin with due to the fact that chlorine is actually a poison to our body. Chlorine, sorry, is actually a poison to our body anyway. However, the FDA has come up with the fact that the chlorine is similar to that of salt, table salt, and so it should have no negative effects on the body. However, recent studies have shown that the chlorine in sucralose is almost the same as a now banned pesticide DDT, and the actual structure of sucralose is more similar to pesticide than it is to sugar itself. And so I'm not saying that it's going to have the same negative effects as a pesticide in your body. However, it makes you start to wonder when something is more similar to a pesticide than it is to a food, and we're eating it. Now, sucralose is 600 times sweeter than sugar, so very small amounts are needed to improve the taste of the product. However, it's still very dangerous and can cause headaches, again, muscle aches, stomach cramps, diarrhea, bladder issues, skin irritation, dizziness, and inflammation. The list goes on, and again, it affects your immune system, it affects your liver and kidney systems, and it also affects your intestinal bacteria, which have all play parts on your digestion and the potential of weight loss through metabolism of fat. So again, those 3 sweeteners are very dangerous to the body, and I would recommend staying away from them as much as possible. I'm not saying never have them, but to limit your intake of them would be good. All of these studies have shown that extensive intake of this can lead to very dramatic problems. However, moderate and low intake of these sweeteners should be fine. I personally try to stay away from these 3 sweeteners. I've never really liked the taste of soft drinks, of 0 sugar soft drinks anyway. And my protein powder that I use is flavored with stevia, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Now actually, stevia is 60 times sweeter than sugar, and is a natural sweetener, 30 times sweeter than sugar, and is a natural sweetener found from a plant in the South African herb, and is natural and has been used in areas such as Japan for many years now without any problems. Still, again, little is known about the side effects of stevia. However, it is declared the safest sweetener due to constant use and with minimal problems from it, and also due to the fact that it's a natural sweetener itself. Out of all the sweeteners, I would recommend the use of stevia the most, as due to its natural and lack of side effects, it is far more benefits or less danger to the body compared to the other 3 which I've stated. Now, overall sweeteners for training and weight loss. Sweeteners stimulate the body through fake signals telling the body that something sweet has entered the body, which stimulates the brain to process the fact that you've eaten something sweet when you really haven't, and so you're getting the sweetness without the calories. Now, this is great for many people who try to lose weight. This sounds great for many people who are trying to lose weight. It's not in reality, as by tricking your body, you actually leads to craving more sweet foods later, which actually leads to a higher intake of food and therefore a higher intake of calories, which leads to weight gain. Also, due to tricking your body in a fake stimulus, it actually leads to affecting your hormonal balance of the body, which can actually lead to increased cortisol levels and insulin sensitivity, which leads to fat gain, due to insulin sensitivity being reduced, meaning that your body does not deal with carbohydrates as well and is more likely to store them as fat than it is to use them in muscle production. And so, in total, I'd recommend staying away from the three artificial sweeteners: aspartame, acesulfame K, and sucralose, and trying to switch in for stevia as much as you can. Also, with stevia, make sure that it's not stevia in the raw. The stevia in the raw is actually uses more dextrose product, which is actually sugar itself, which leads to greater spikes of insulin and fat storage. Thanks for listening, guys. If you have any questions, then please comment below. If you enjoyed the video and the content that I've said, then please like it up and subscribe. Also check out my Facebook fan page for more information, which will be provided in the link below. And remember, LAS Fitness, learn, apply, succeed.